most people that come in to do interviews or even just come into my studio, they know I have a small collection of guitars that are just, it's my midlife crisis. That's what happens. You know, some guys buy cars. I just buy vintage guitars. And that's kind of how it is. So one night I was late, was working, and I saw a 1979 Gibson Les Paul on eBay. So I bought it. And the thing about a 1979 Gibson Les Paul is when you get a Les Paul, all that comes out is like rock, like, you know, like dad rock licks. So I just started writing classic rock licks. And I would do the same thing. I would just write these songs, and I kind of put drums in and stuff like that. And I would send it to my buddy Ben, and he would put another part on top of it. And I'd be like, cool. And I would just put it on the pile of the songs that we were writing. It was kind of like a fun thing. And we just kept going. And it just kind of kept going that way. The Les Paul was doing its magic. I was just writing songs, and we got about, 8 songs in. And, Ben said, hey man, we should probably find someone to sing on these songs. And I was like, you know what? That's a good idea, because they're incomplete. They're just kind of sitting there, and there's no, they're just unfinished. And I felt kind of sad that these songs were, as much as I enjoyed writing these songs, there's something about an unfinished song that just kind of makes you sad. So I heard a female voice on this music. For some reason, I just heard, just a strong female voice. I kind of like that for that rock and roll feeling. So I set out on this quest to find the voice. And, I know musicians that are listening, or people, you guys know what I'm talking about. You just hear that voice, or you hear that tone, and you kind of go for it. So I started looking, and I put out ads, and, and you do the typical things. You put out ads in Craigslist, and you ask around and stuff like that. And I started looking through singers, and I just got name after name, and they have, people's bios, and they have pictures, and they have demo songs. I was amazed how many people fit this parameter of like wanting to sing rock, and I started listening to voice after voice, and I came to realize that everybody kind of now sounds the same. And I'm gonna like sidestep this for a second. A friend of mine asked me to listen to his friend's demo tape, and she was a singer-songwriter, and he said, "What'd you think?" And I said, "Well, she's good." He's like, "Well, that's great." I was like, "Well, no, everybody's good. You have to be different." And that's what I was looking for. It seemed like everybody could sing. So I just listened to voice after voice, and they all kind of sounded the same. They all kind of fell into different categories of Amy Winehouse or Sia, or, that type of thing. And so I spent 2 weeks just listening to voices, and I just finished listening to about 1,300 people sing. There was a girl named Kris from Moscow. And I remember seeing her demo tape was a Poison song. It was Unskinny Bop by Poison. And I thought to myself, this is going to be good, right? And I played the song, and immediately I knew that was the voice. So I sent her the songs, and almost as long as it took for her to listen to all the songs, I got an email back and said, "I'm in." At that point, when she said, "I'm in," I thought to myself, this is crazy. And how are we going to make this work? And I had no idea where this was all going to lead. I just kind of knew that if we just kind of kept going with it, something would happen. So here we are, a couple of years later. It's been just over 2 years now. We figure out a way to make it work. And it's kind of a testament to music and the connectivity that we all share because of this whole experiment and just kind of reaching out and trying to find something and taking that shot when you find the thing that you think is right for you. It opened up a whole new path. And that's the amazing part. Because of this, we have a record company, and it's new and it's small, but it's growing. And we have a podcast, and it's all because somebody that I didn't know listened to my music and said, I'm in. So that's how we came upon Kris Kaizen.